To the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Never stand still, that's the motto. Yeah, brand new bands for the auto. Oh, foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Damn, y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy. Boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never get it out big.
Hey, folks, we're back.
Guess who's back?
Hopefully you don't hate us.
They do.
At this point.
Some people might.
If you listened to the episode before, I did a good job of explaining what we did. We're not going to release the podcast as much because we got to focus on video. Video is where it's at, and it's what we have to put all of our limited time and resources into.
We'll post it when we have a guest, and that's when you guys want to listen anyway, right? You don't want to listen to us talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Some of you do, which shout out to you, but
right.
not the masses.
Right.
But it just, the amount, like I know Jack covered it, the amount of resources we were putting into just those podcasts every week, even when it was just us. It was like, that time is better for videos. And then if we can get on awesome guests, like we're going to have Dana Beers here, it's worth it to set aside some time. But, every other weeks we can focus on putting out some awesome videos and shit like that.
I will say this does feel weird. It's like a high school reunion.
It is.
Oh, this is weird, boy.
Well, we don't have Zane.
We don't have Zane.
We
Crying
Wags.
a little bit.
And producer Andy.
Well, producer Andy died a long time ago.
Producer Andy, yeah.
He died.
Yeah, he's just dead.
Well, I guess we can give away a little preview too. We're going to be having Dragon Kesich on, who's the kicker for the Gophers, legend.
Hell yeah. Great name.
Probably the best player on the team last year, by a lot. And then down the road, Jake, you can tell your little story from this weekend.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to have Billy G back on soon. We've been trying to get him back on, and now that we're doing like the exclusive interviews bit, with for this type of show, we're hoping to bring him back on. So going back to Sunday, this is how I know that we're going to get him back on going back to Saturday, I ran into his daughter Saturday night. She was out with some friends. We were at Bunkers in North Loop, and she obviously texted him that she had ran into me, like Jake from 10K or whatever. And because the next day at like 1 p.m. in the afternoon on Sunday, I'm just chilling on my couch. I'm getting a call, and it just says Bill Guerin.
Just the Minnesota Wild general manager calling you.
And he's never, I don't think he's ever called me, except I think when we tried to meet up with them at the X for the first Wild game. Like we knew we had to coordinate where to meet up, stuff like that. We've texted, set things up. But he's never just called me out of the blue like that. I know there was a reason for it, but so I pick up. I'm like, hey, Bill, what's up? And then he just says, "Are you trying to infiltrate the Guerin family or what?" First, it's my son Liam you're hanging out with, and now you run into my daughter and you're at the bar with her too. What's going on here?
You should have been like, "Yeah, what do you think about that?"
Yeah,
you probably been like, "I don't know if I like it or not yet."
He's like, I'm still thinking about it. I don't know how I feel, but no, it was great. We had a conversation about that, and then he was talking about how. He's like, I want to get into your boys' new studio after deadline, but, I'm kind of busy with that. Obviously, deadline, I think, is coming up on Monday here or whenever it is. So he's obviously busy. He's taking phone calls from the bench. We've seen that. So he said that he wants to come in and, get in on another interview, after the trade deadline. So we're going to get that figured out hopefully here in March, before the end of the season and get him back in. And then he was also saying how I need to stay sharp in net because I'll never know when I'm going to get the call up as the E-Bug to the E-Bug.
Right.
So,
right.
Because he was asking, are you going to the game tonight? Because this was on Sunday, and they played San Jose that night. And I'm like, no, I got a game tonight. He's like, oh, no, yeah, you have obligations.
You should have schmoozed him and be like, I don't know, am I going to the game tonight?
Yeah.
I feel like I know a guy who could get me in.
Yeah, I feel like I know a top-tier guy up the organization a little bit.
Do you have tickets?
Yeah. Could I sit in the booth with you during the game and help scout some things?
Can we bring your kid to work?
That's what I was going to say. It's fucking a 27-year-old Jake with two McGoldens.
Acts like a 12-year-old.
I would just be sitting there. He'd be around with other scouts. They're talking about how they need to figure out to get this team or figure out what they're going to do with this team that's 8 points out of a playoff spot. It's just me sitting there with 2 beers.
Jake interrupts the conversation. Mr. Guerin, where's the bathroom?
Yeah.
Jake's
May I go to the bathroom?
Jake's in the back of the booth going,
what the hell are you drumming?
He treats him like a little kid. Gives Jake like a bathroom pass in order to go to the bathroom.
Here, you need a bathroom pass. Yeah. Here's a beer voucher. Yeah. Oh well, another funny story. You guys weren't there. We went and enjoyed the Custom One Lounge for the Flurry Night game.
I got to get in there.
Yeah,
that place looks fucking incredible.
We need to try to get back in there. But shout out to Todd. I forgot his last name. I think it's Todd. He's the owner or like one of the founders of Custom One Landscaping. They did all like the interiors and design and everything in there of the Custom One Lounge. I think it's formerly known as the Audi Club or whatever, behind the West Net or whatever. But if you get in there, you can drink all the beers you want, all the food. It's buffets, everything. And they have a big, they have a hot dog stand, that you can just get unlimited hot dogs. But Todd fortunately gave us free passes for that game during the Flurry night. We still had to get tickets, but we had tickets in the upper level. So every time we had to go back down there, we had to take the elevator after the intermissions. I think it was after the first intermission, we're going down the elevator. We stop at the suite level because people were obviously getting off a suite or whatever. And Bill Guerin's just standing right outside the elevator, just talking to somebody, just chilling. Actually, I don't think he was talking to anybody, and he makes eye contact with me. He's like, "Where the hell are you guys going?" We're just going down. I'm like, "We're going down to the Custom One Lounge." He's like, "Shit, well, don't drink all the beer. Save some for me." And then we're like, "Okay." And he never like went down there or anything, but it was just it just so happened to be at that part of the stadium right in front of the elevator, and just another just gem.
I just had an idea.
What?
So you're telling me the Custom One Lounge, Todd, very nice guy, Custom One Landscaping, said that we could go down there and drink the beer and eat the hot dogs. Might need to retry the 993 at some point here.
There? Oh, goodness gracious. We could easily, because you can get as many beers as you want.
And as many hot dogs as you want.
Exactly.
993 challenge, by the way. We've done it before. It's 9 hot dogs, 9 beers, and 3 periods.
I need to get in on it this time. I haven't done it yet.
The thing is, I think we could do it like so easily. Just because you're there. I just don't want to have to puke in the seats, but...
They have bathrooms, right?
They have bathrooms.
Yeah.
And
they do.
I forgot, you can't... Can you consume any of it during intermission? What was the rules on that?
So,
we should be able to do that if we're at the game.
I would hope so.
No, so you go in there, they start...
No, I meant the 993 rules when you guys did it. Remember? Was it like...
No, we drank and ate the whole time. I mean,
even during intermission?
Yeah, because it is only 3 hours you have to consume.
Okay.
Yep, so you can do it during intermission. So, 9 beers. Yeah, I mean, we could easily finish 3 beers. I think I actually consumed like 4 beers or 5 beers in one period. Last game.
I mean, you have to if you get the free tickets.
Yeah, I think I could.
Free pass.
Exactly. So
you have that guy's number.
Oh yeah,
set it up,
Todd. We'll see if we can figure that out.
Set it up. Say we want to do the 993. We'll promote Custom One Landscaping.
We'll all wear Custom One Landscaping shirts.
Yeah. If he wants us to wear some swag when we're consuming 5,000 calories during a hockey game, we'll do it.
Custom One wild jerseys.
Well, we're slowly playing Control-Alt-Delete with our bodies.
Oh, gosh, dude. See, I've been doing the eating challenges lately. You guys got to get in on those.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the 993.
Speaking of that, it's actually a good segue. What's the next one? Do we know?
Well, so Zuch and I did last Thursday. We did the
pizza.
Right? Yeah, Joey Nova's pizza challenge in Excelsior. I'm editing that one right now. It's going to be out next Wednesday. 10,000 takes on YouTube, and that one was crazy. It was a XL size pizza, double cheese, double crust, 4 meat toppings, about 8 pounds.
The double crust is fucked.
In less than a half hour. So let me tell you this though, without giving away too much. It came down to the wire, and I'm not saying like we did it or we didn't do it, but I'll say it came down to the final seconds whether we finished or did not. So it's going to be a good one.
It's thrilling.
It's thrilling.
If there is one that you need like a partner for, let me know. I want to get in on one.
They're harder than you think.
I know. I've never done an eating challenge. I just want to try it.
I'm honestly taking a bit of a sabbatical unless we do this because I'll simply say it ruins your Wednesday, it ruins your Thursday, and it ruins your Friday. And I'm kind of getting sick of doing that every 2 weeks.
Well, the Tommy Olsen one you did would ruin me for 2 weeks.
Yeah, dude, I'll tell you this. I don't know how people eat like that every day. It's fucking crazy. I mean, I thought I ate a lot normally, but like...
We know there are people that eat like that.
I knew Jake was laughing just because he thought of one person.
He's thinking of Bubba.
Yeah.
He can say his name. It's Bubba.
Yeah,
Bubba was the one who did these challenges
Bubba
before.
10K.
He used to do them every week, dude.
And he got a trophy.
Yeah, well, and he actually successfully completed them, but as a 175-pound man, I can't do some of these, man. It's too hard, but I'm trying.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can start doing we should do the hot dog and beers one at the Wild game. I think that one would do well.
Yeah, especially then through the Custom One Lounge or whatever, we don't have to, pour half of our bank account into paying for beers and hot dogs and everything. That'd be a very easy way. Like literally the hot dogs are like on a tray, like in a mountain shape.
Yeah,
It's
like
crazy.
they're
Just
just
bear glizzy on
yeah,
in a pyramid.
the Glizzy Mountain.
they're just
No
there.
bun.
pyramid.
They're just there
They
for
have
mass
buns
consumption.
to put it in, but yeah.
Can you imagine, like, you just walk into the room and it's just a fucking pyramid of glizzies? Like,
I mean,
I'm about to eat all of those.
That sounds fucking awesome right now.
That sounds amazing right now, and then
does.
before we know it, we're going to be 8 beers.
I'll have to see
and
if I can
hot
break my
dogs.
record for free hot dogs consumed. Well, the Eau Claire Express game where I did the 999 last year, but then after a night out when you're waiting for an Uber at Deja Vu, the strip club, and they have the free hot dogs going, and you just find your
oh my
Wasn't
gosh.
I there? Was you that
yeah.
night?
I went up there like 7 different times, and I was like, I felt like, I mean, the guy who was serving to me was morbidly obese, and by the end of that, I felt like the fat one. In the group.
Jack and I were there that night, and it was all after the bar, so we were like already shitty. He put on a goddamn clinic.
Yeah. Well, what else are you gonna do? And it was freezing cold out. We're
Yeah.
waiting for an Uber, and the Uber's like 40. I mean, you know how it goes with the surge pricing, and then so you
Yep.
kind of got to wait for it. So you go into Deja Vu, you pay your $10 at the door, you buy your fucking $18 Monster Energy drink. You see a pair, and then you're like, all right, let's get the glizzies going.
see a pair?
Yeah,
That's
you
a
see
great
you see a
line.
pair, and then
That's-
you go up and you just start.
You see a pair and you just start deleting meat missiles.
And then all the staff and all the strippers who come up to you and like try to start a conversation slowly start to realize that you're not there for the dancers, you're there for the hot dogs.
Because your breath just smells like the Oscar Mayer hot
and you
dog movie.
and you haven't spent a penny, and you're like, no, ma'am, I'm here to wait for my Uber and to get free hot dogs.
This
But
trip
you
to
know,
the strip
hungry.
club is actually sponsored by Ballpark.
yeah. The naked females is a good touch, but I'm not even
Sure.
really here for that.
Yeah, some really good looking stripper comes up to you. Hey, big boy, do you want to get a lap dance? No, and you just
I'll
dart
give you
towards the,
$20 if you go get
Jack
me 3
missiles.
more hot dogs. though.
Jack walks into Deja Vu. God, they have naked women at this
Yeah.
restaurant?
I thought this was a hot dog stand.
This is a buffet.
After
Greatest
hours,
hot dog
that
stand ever.
smells like sweat and regret.
This restaurant kicks ass.
Yeah, it smells like perfume.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Drinks are a little pricey, but this is worth it.
Yeah, this is a great nice little dive bar here we got,
So
folks.
funny.
Yeah, it's the post 2 a.m. hangout spot.
Yeah,
You're
exactly.
waiting for your Uber when it's minus 10 out.
Yeah, gosh.
By the way, CHS Field, the lights were on. They're off now. Our studio's right by
Hey.
where the Saints play.
They're probably testing. It's coming.
How close are we?
Baseball's
Baseball
around the
season.
corner. Spring training games are in full swing. We're
Yep.
about a month out.
All right.
the Twinkles.
The Twins for sure less than a month out. They're
They're end of March when they play.
like 25 days out.
Yeah,
Um,
but they don't open
but
till
Saints, I think like April 7th. It's usually like a week or two after the MLB
Yeah.
starts. They're getting ready.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
getting
Plus,
ready.
they're gonna probably make first round of cuts at some point. So then those players will start coming back up here, and
So, actually, believe it or not,
they start on the same time this
March
year.
29th versus Columbus.
Oh, yeah.
We're back, baby. Opening night plus Saints Baby Blue hoodie giveaway to the first 2,000 fans.
Oh, look at that.
I'm in.
We're going to that.
The Columbus Clippers, AAA affiliate of the
LA Clippers.
the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah, dude,
Big tilt.
This is perfect. This is technically Easter weekend, but that Friday night is opening night, so we can go.
He has indeed risen.
Yeah,
Yep.
the Saints.
Baseball has risen.
I mean, the Saints. It's a
All
it's,
is
Jesus
right
and
in the world.
baseball.
it's a perfect story. That's pretty sweet though. A hoodie for the giveaway. Like normally it's like a
not
t-shirt or a
bad.
shitty hat or like a bobblehead. But
the Saints-
I don't think
Unreal.
I've ever seen a hoodie.
The Saints can, now that they're Twins affiliates, could probably afford to do sick giveaways like that.
Show the hoodie, you cowards.
They probably,
Come on.
it's probably like a
It's unreal.
surprise. I remember the Twins would do that for the home opener, and like everyone would get so hyped, and then like half the time they're like, "Yeah, this is like the consistency of a coffee filter."
It's like a blanket that
You can rip
like
it.
the really thin 1-layer ones. I mean, who cares? A free hoodie is a free
Yeah,
hoodie, and
I'm in.
the Saints are our next door neighbors. I mean, we're literally looking at left field right now, so it's
It just makes you want to go to Treasure Island, doesn't it?
no,
Dude,
I
it's
didn't want to
great.
look at that.
It's island
and
time, baby.
well, there is a secret that we're going to be coming out with in the next few weeks that we've been working on for a while, and apparently whatever that secret is going to have something to do with Saints games.
Allegedly,
yeah, allegedly, maybe
Just
not.
think that one through.
per Adam Schefter.
Yeah, per PFT.
Per Jeff Passan.
Yeah,
I used
True,
to
good one.
back when we had the 10K softball team, I'd be like, we just lost 21-6 per Jeff
It
Passan.
hasn't. It's still a secret, so it hasn't made it quite to Jeff Passan yet. But Dan Hayes does have rumblings about it.
True.
Dan Hayes has started to talk
Yeah.
about it.
does he? What about John Bonus?
Bonus too. Those guys are like two peas
John-
in a pod, though. So it's
John
the same.
Bonus, let's just say whatever this product is that we may or may not be coming
sure.
out with, John Bonus is going to
Pretty
enjoy.
sure.
He's gonna like it.
I mean, obviously, I've met both of them, like super good guys. Pretty sure they're like secretly roommates. Those guys are like tied at the hip.
Well, because
Bonus
they're
and
both
Hayes.
twins guys.
Yeah, yeah, and they both were
love. Yeah.
but they're like tied at the hip. It's great.
I just love we've met up with them or ran into them at Vikings tailgates.
Yeah.
They'll just be
They're
going
always
off about
together.
Twins baseball before a Vikings game.
Jake and I.
It's so funny though. It's so fun to talk to him about it.
I brought my dad. This was 2 years ago or 2 seasons ago now. I brought my dad to the Vikings game for his birthday, and my dad like met a bunch of the people that we usually tailgate with, and I like ditched my dad to talk to Jake and Dan Hayes and John Bonus about Nick Gordon batting leadoff.
You remember that? We had a couple beers in us. It was before the game, and I still remember John Bonus because like they were putting Nick Gordon at like second or third in the lineup at this time. And
He's
this was
batting leadoff.
This was 2 years ago when the Twins were really bad and like they were doing nothing.
Well out of the playoffs.
And John Bonus was like practically yelling, like, "Why the fuck are they batting or leading with Nick Gordon?"
Everyone's talking about football, and Bonus is just getting a fucking ulcer because of Nick Gordon.
Yeah, he's just sitting there just yelling.
There is nothing funnier though than someone screaming about baseball, just because
football tailgate.
Like baseball, there's just so many goddamn games. I know, like Cam, you're a hardcore baseball fan, but to the average sports fan, it's very hard to follow, especially in those dog days, and not a lot of people watch or follow along, especially when the team is bad. But when you get someone who's just extremely passionate about it going off in the middle of a time when no one's watching it, there's nothing funnier than that.
I'm like that because it gets a bad rap. Like, obviously, a lot of people don't like baseball because I get it. Like, people see it as boring or it lasts too long. But, like, I'm so passionate about baseball, and, like, I would like to think myself as, like, someone who knows a lot about baseball, to where there's so many casual fans that don't know shit, and it literally makes my blood boil. It's the same thing as, like, obviously different scale, but the same thing as like people that hate Kirk Cousins, right? Like, shut up.
Yeah.
It pisses me off so bad.
Yeah.
But the Twins, for some reason, it's the number one where when people talk about them, I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Yeah.
I've been there.
All right.
Twins.
There's not really much else to talk about. Obviously, we're in the offseason. The Vikes, Wild re-signed Bogosian today.
Kirk going to the Peach State?
That
maybe, allegedly.
We need to stop with the whole thing of like a guy that Mike Florio knows, who's close to the Cousins family, says that Kirk is preparing to move his family.
Prepare?
That is so like what you saw the U-Haul truck outside of the house in Inver
Turns out Kirk's just moving 2 doors down.
Yeah. Yeah, who knows? Maybe he's moving closer to Egan. Maybe he's moving to Egan.
It's so stupid. It's the same thing. Like, obviously, like, remember when Shohei Ohtani was on a flight to Toronto?
Yeah.
That never happened.
No.
Remember when Yamamoto was on a flight to, what was it? Put the city of New York in like his Instagram bio.
Yeah, like, so-and-so has just now followed the Yankees. Yeah, cool. So has so many other people.
That's the funniest thing, dude. JJ McCarthy is starting to follow a ton of Vikings players, and everyone's like, is this a sign? It's like, motherfucker hasn't even been drafted yet.
Also, JJ has no fucking control where he goes, although that one's a little bit real because the way he talked to the combine, he wants to be a Viking more than anyone ever.
And I don't care for him.
You know who else?
I think I'm out on that.
You know who else could be a Viking this year? Eric Kendricks.
Yeah, welcome back.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, him and Anthony Barr just making the
bring Barr back again.
making the victory lap.
Our linebackers just all have AARP cards.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
on their way to retirement.
It's kind of like when you're the guy dating the girl, and then she goes off and is like, I can do better than you, and then dates like someone else for a couple weeks, and then a few weeks later she's like knocking back on your door, and she's like, okay, that didn't go well. Will you take me back? And that's the Vikings.
When Anthony Barr agreed to a contract with the Jets for 3 days and they came back,
yeah,
he's like, wait, no, it's the Jets.
Wait, Zach Wilson.
Quickly then, I guess while we're on the topic, if the Vikings do draft a quarterback, who do you want it to be and why? I'll go first just because I was expecting the question. You guys weren't. Obviously, I would want Caleb Williams, but that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So out of the other ones, I personally would want Drake May.
Yeah.
I think he's just the most pro ready. The only thing that scares me is that North Carolina mold has not worked out with Trubisky and Sam Howell. But I think out of the options, Drake May, Jaden Daniels is a close second.
Did you see though the video of Michael Pennis Jr. throwing the
Penis?
throwing the football in the hallway? People were talking
That was
about
McCarthy.
Well, there was one with
McCarthy,
and then Penix.
There was
McCarthy's
another one.
hallway throw was good too.
Yeah.
But then Penix came out with that, and then
And
people were
Michael-
like, I changed my vote. I want
Yeah.
Penix.
That's what happens like
Michael
in the
Pennis.
combine. It's like there's nothing to talk about because people get so hyped for the combine, and the combine is literally only for like hardcore draft people. Like I get into the draft hard, but like if you're looking for entertainment at the combine, you're not going to get it. You're watching people do drills.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally
Not
do
fun.
practice.
Or like maybe once every 5 years a guy's cock flies out.
Chris Jones.
Yeah.
During the 40 or whatever.
Yeah. The 40 record was
You're waiting.
broken this year. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that dude was fast.
Yeah. No, I was all the hallway videos that were coming out. If you guys saw on the 10K Twitter, I was posting like the JJ McCarthy one. I did the bit where you just say like Viking. Yeah. And people were just getting so mad.
I know, they get so pissed
and then the
off.
next day, Michael Pennis Jr.'s fucking hallway video came out, and I did this. I was like, wait, I like his hallway throw better. I think I want him to be a Viking. And
he already wore purple. It's a sign.
True. Yeah, Drake May though. Drake May seems like the
I
option.
think I'm in the boat of like I'm just out of the guys. It's going to be Drake May based off like his profile and how he fits into the system. I like him the most, but in the end, it's kind of a crapshoot.
I don't want Caleb. I don't even know if we had the option. I want Caleb
I don't
Williams.
really want him because of his attitude, though. It bothers me.
Seems like he's gonna have a little bit of baggage, but the dude is fucking insane.
He's good.
He is, but he wants equity in a team. What if he doesn't work? What if he's a bust?
Tell him to go to the Packers.
Who are some of like those like dark horse like quarterbacks that are still maybe top 15, like who's that Tulane quarterback?
His name's slipping, but he could do something.
He's supposed to be really good. Like I was thinking, like if like the Vikings were to go to, they keep Kirk, they draft like an edge rusher for whatever reason. I was looking at some of those second tier quarterbacks, and that Tulane quarterback piqued my eye. But I don't know.
There's definitely guys out there. People think it's also unrealistic that we'll get Drake May.
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly convinced JJ McCarthy's going to go number 2.
I think he's
Really?
It just makes
Just
most
with
sense. Like he just won the championship.
Yeah.
He's getting a lot of hype. He actually looked pretty good. Like I think McCarthy will go too. So I
Damn.
think we could actually get Drake May. We just have to trade with the
That'd
Patriots.
be cool.
But at what cost? And then also, fucking sign Jefferson.
Right.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, this thing needs to come, and it's
sign Kirk too, for the love of Pete.
It's gotten to the point though with the JJ thing to where people are starting to talk trade scenarios already.
God.
It's funny to see because
People are like, what? No, but hear me out. No. Let's just wait.
and never in a million years would you have thought when like you saw JJ's potential and how well he panned out over the last few years for the Vikings, you'd never think anyone would ever throw his name in a trade scenario.
No.
And now it's happening like regularly.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
It is weird. It is kind of. I have seen some very interesting. I don't want to trade Jefferson at all, but it is interesting. Some of like the trades. Like if you were to trade Justin Jefferson, you get picks, and then you can maybe sign like an Evans and a Pittman or something, and get a 2-for-1.
Pittman just got franchise tag.
Oh, he
Pittman
did.
just got
That's right.
franchise tag. Evans just
Yeah,
signed
you're
2
right.
years with the Bucs.
Yeah, so that was like a month ago.
It would have to be
Yeah.
for all
when I
picks.
heard about yeah, exactly.
For all picks.
At this point, so yeah, then fuck that. No, we're going to keep JJ.
I don't know. This team could look a lot different, though. Potentially new quarterback, potentially new wide receiver 1, for sure new running back.
Yeah.
Madison gone,
Yep.
which is
Derrick
fine.
Henry?
No.
I
Derrick
don't
Henry
really want
is
him.
fucking
Dude,
washed.
I will tell you though, if they,
Saquon.
He's free agent.
I mean, if he's
he's
just,
gonna
I
go
just
to
feel like he
Houston.
always gets injured. He's like
gonna go to
Byron
Houston.
Buxton. But no, I swear to God, though, if we get rid of Kirk, I do not want them to get rid of Kirk. Obviously, I'm a Kirk stan. We all are. But if we get Sam Darnold, I will not watch.
That
you
won't.
will.
That won't happen.
No, I
Let's
won't.
see, we're not getting Sam fucking Darnold, Jake. It's
I
gonna be-
want to
Russell Wilson. That's disgusting.
Russ or there's Justin Fields.
No.
that
Dude,
has gained a lot of steam lately, and people are so bored.
I love the meme. I love the
graphics.
meme where it's like the curb of it's like out on the curb in front of someone's house or a store, and it's like a broken record player, and the sign says or fun but needs to be fixed or something. Have you seen that meme
Yeah,
where
yeah,
it's I can't remember what the exact wording is, but that might be like Justin Fields. Who knows? I don't.
They're not going to get Darnold because if they do, Kwesi and KOC might as well just update their Indeed profile.
Yeah, I know.
They need to improve now. Otherwise, they're gone.
I just think
We're at square one.
Yeah.
you're seeing all this like these crazy talks like going to Justin Fields now at this point where I like
I actually like Fields, but the Bears aren't going to send him to a
No.
fucking
No, they
division
wouldn't
round.
do
that, but
that.
it's takes like that I'm like we need to make it federally illegal to talk about football and rumors and trades from the day after the Super Bowl until the day of the draft.
Yeah,
And
it
just
is.
Be done.
It is.
Some of the speculation stuff, people are getting really bored.
know.
And it's like getting really bad.
It will be fun though. This draft is deep as hell. Like
It is, from what
there's
I've
like
seen.
5th round players that will start day 1.
Tyler Nubin.
Super deep. Tyler Nubin's going to go first round, go for safety.
Yeah.
We did mention Dragon Catchers. I would say Nubin's probably the best player. Dragon second.
I forgot about
I forgot about
Newman.
Newman.
Kesich can't go. He can't go to the NFL though yet. He was a freshman or sophomore.
No, Dragon Kesich was
He's going to be a senior now.
he was a junior.
Oh,
he's-
so he is eligible.
He's
Yeah,
wait,
but
he's
I
waiting.
I don't
to
think
go
he's
there.
gonna. No,
Isn't he coming back?
he's coming back.
He's
yeah.
coming back.
But he could be like a. He would be like
I think he'll be an
seventh
NFL
round.
kicker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Also,
so
I didn't
good.
know this. They actually have kickers at the combine.
Fuck
I just know
That's what I would watch. I
Do
would
I-
go there and just get beers and watch the kickers.
Do any of them bench?
Oh my god, I need to look that
Who?
up.
There was one quarterback who
Jay Cutler.
opted in, to bench.
I saw that
I
bit.
saw that story.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I didn't know either.
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you as a quarterback?
Right.
It
Well,
shows your arm
and
strength.
if you're good at it,
Jay Cutler.
especially not like fucking
But can you imagine like
Caleb
Matt
Williams is
Castle
like, I'm
going
just
to
not gonna
bench
do
or like-
anything.
This is just the first name I thought of.
Matt
but-
Castle.
yeah.
like Sean Mannion on the bench press.
Oh, gross. I did not want to see that.
I'd rather see Sean Mannion at the bar.
Yeah,
I wanna see
just
how
chug
many-
beers. That can
I
be
want
a
to see how many
soda.
beers that guy can drink.
That might have been how they evaluated to bring him on the team.
Yeah.
That's
This guy drank 12 beers in like a minute. Bring him in.
well, that's actually a really good transition.
True.
I would
Beers.
love to keep talking to you guys, but I don't think you can get any better than that. Let's bring in our friend Dana Beers from Barstool. We now welcome on a very special guest. We got Dana Beers, Barstool Sports personality. Dana and I met at the Waste Management. I was unfortunately there on Saturday when they shut off beer sales at 2 p.m. and let in everybody. But it sounds like Dana here got to have a fun day. But Dana, I appreciate you so much for coming on, and it was great meeting you at 0 degrees, 8 degrees, whatever the bar was called.
Up to
there.
some degrees. I don't know what the
Yeah.
degrees are, but yeah, I mean, that was a great time meeting you. And when you asked for me to come on, you said Chief had been on before. I checked out your profile and everything. Everything looked awesome. So happy to hop on. I was just saying before we started recording, I feel like not only Minnesotian, is it Minnesotans?
Yeah.
Minnesotans.
Yep.
Minnesotans, but Midwesterners in general are like, I feel like I fit in well with that crowd. So I'm happy to come on here and chop it up with you fellas.
Well, yeah, and we know the people in Minnesota love you, but specifically, like you said, the Midwest, because that's, I mean, our like your audience is our audience. Like drinking beer, watching sports. I mean, that's all you need. That's all we do. So
That's life.
Yeah.
That's life, man. That's the best.
yeah, it fits right in.
Yeah, because like drinking beers, I mean, you literally, I think your biggest moment was obviously when you chugged, 7, 8 beers in like a couple minutes at was it the Bucks game?
It was the Bucks. That was
Yeah.
throwback. I mean, so that whole story was crazy because we had an event going on, and they put us up in this VIP section. And first of all, I'm self-aware enough to be like, I'm not a big deal. I'm just a normal dude. But for them to put my name up on the Jumbotron, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, can I swear? I can swear, right?
Yeah,
go-
absolutely.
Like, what in the world is going on where my name is on the Jumbotron? So they gave us a little time, and they were like, all right, we want you to chug some beers. And I went overboard, as I tend to do. But the place it had a little pop. So then a couple weeks later, Bahtiari, who obviously was like known for doing that on the hardwood, he DM'd me and he's like, if they go to the finals, like you're coming with me, we're sitting down. I'm like, all right. Like it's crazy to say, but I had like the biggest butterflies of my life getting ready to chug a beer. like
Yeah.
It's an insane thing to say, but that time of life was crazy. But yeah, those were the Milwaukee, like the people of Milwaukee were all about it. The Midwesterners were loving it. So I'm a little old now. I'm getting washed up, but it was a good memory for sure.
Oh, you still got a little pep in your step, though. I saw we were talking about it before the show started. I saw a video of you waking up on like a Sunday morning or something, and you said hangover beer, and the background song is "And I don't want the world to see me," and you like sit up,
man.
you got like a breakfast sandwich in one hand, and then out of nowhere comes a fucking Guinness. You just hammer the darkest and thickest beer known to man.
That's what was in the fridge at the moment, so I
Yeah.
had to roll with it. But
Oh.
yeah, I'm 31 now, so I don't know how much I got left in the tank, but those hangovers hit different. I don't know how old you guys are, but once you hit 30, man, it's tough waking up that next morning.
That's why I need a Guinness. Like I said, don't drink an orange juice or eat an apple or fruit. Just chug a Guinness and you'll be good to go. I think if I could make a suggestion, I know you said you didn't want to do that again, but if you did, I think the song choice should be "Higher" by Creed. The next time you do it, I think that would be I think that would be classic. I think that'd be electric. So
I'm
maybe-
always in the market for suggestions for
Yeah.
songs, new ideas. So I think I'll write that one down. I might have to shout you guys out on that next time.
That was like the song of like 2023. So I feel like you have to do that.
I think I have.
For
I
sure.
think I have a Rogue Guinness that's sitting in the fridge from God knows who
You
brought
should
it
do
over. I think I might try to recreate that. I might puke. I might projectile vomit, but I'll have to get.
Did
that
we
one.
chug a beer together at when we were at that bar, or were we just drinking beer?
We were just I had done a few shots of Fireball before I went over and talked to you. So
Yeah.
it was I was with some friends from high school, dude. So you were there earlier before kind of the riffraff showed up later, and
Right.
and I remember like sitting across the bar just ordering beers, and like I kept looking at you, and I'm like, that just can't be Dana Beers, right? I'm like, what would he be doing here right now at this exact spot? It was the most bizarre thing. But then I saw the Boston hat, and I was like, maybe that is him. And then eventually I saw other people going up and talking to you. I'm like, okay, so that is fucking Dana Beers. Like, how random is that? That was
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, so my dad has a place down in Scottsdale, and he just retired. So he's like 6 months there, 6 months back in Massachusetts. So they like love that bar,
Yeah.
well, I don't know, whatever bar it's called.
Connected
But
to the ice
problem-
arena.
the problem was it smelled like puke because all these friggin' people that were just coming in from the Saturday Waste Management, this is the only bar they were going to. The place was absolutely packed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dad, is it usually like this? Like, he's like, definitely not. Like, we get the seats right up at the bar. We get our chicken tenders ready, and took like an hour to get food. He's like, it's never like this. But that place was rowdy, and just seeing all the people come in their golf outfits, I'm like, I'm kind of glad I didn't go on Saturday.
Dude, it was so bad. It was so bad. I mean, that's a whole separate discussion, but I'm pretty sure that night when we were at 8 degrees, 7, it's connected to the hockey rink there. Like one of the only hockey rinks you could probably find. There was like a tournament going on, so you had some other people, an adult tournament. So
okay.
Minnesota
Adult
people would
drinkers?
get that,
Oh,
but
yeah.
like hockey tournament, like people travel and stuff, so that was packed with those people. But I'm pretty sure I saw a prostitute there. Like,
There
Hey.
was an
Yeah.
there was an escort for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. The chick in the green dress who was sitting right
100%,
behind you.
yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't the only one who saw that, because I kept looking over there and I'm like, you just know. You like when you
Yes.
know, okay. Glad we got that cleared up. There was a prostitute there. Did not engage, but there was a prostitute.
Well, she
there.
clearly got word that the tournament or people were leaving the tournament and were like, okay, where's the nearest bar near the course? Well, they're going to be going in there, so that was like her
Yep.
prospected area. It was going to be a hot spot.
Yeah, she
for-
mapped that out.
It was a shit show, dude.
Yeah.
But like I said earlier, like that's my third time going. It was nice to kind of be not in the craziness for once and just actually watch some golf.
Mhm.
But it is like a bucket list thing. I just hope it hasn't jumped the shark with like too many people,
Right.
going mainstream and going wild. Because I heard of people getting hurt. I heard of people like passing out, and pissing themselves.
Yeah.
It's like, I just hope that it can actually get like to that fun point and not that like insanely wild point. But I don't know. I'm getting old, like I said.
Right. I mean, I'll be back next year, and we'll see if it makes a rebound. I think they probably learned their lesson. They've been promoting that tournament in the way it is for so long that I think they were just seeing how far they could take it before it turned into Woodstock '99, and that's basically what happened. So it was just a muddy, drunken mess of people everywhere. I'm surprised we just didn't see any riots for how fucking crazy it got.
There probably were some. We just didn't
Yeah.
see them.
No.
Yeah.
It just it doesn't help. Like I wasn't down there this year, but just seeing the rain and the delays just does not help that at all. That people are just not watching golf, and they're like, well, what else do we got to do? Now we got to just only drink,
Slide down a muddy hill.
Yep. Do
Like-
crazy shit to get entertained. But it was interesting. The videos I saw, it was still funny to watch. But
Yeah. Well,
That was fun though, meeting you there and talking shop. So I'm glad we get to do this.
absolutely. Now here we are. So, I mean, Dana, take us back. How'd you get started with Barstool? Where did the Dana Beers story start?
So I haven't always been Dana Beers. I hate to break some hearts, but it's not my real name.
Damn it.
That started about 3 or 4 years in. But as I mentioned, I'm from Massachusetts, and that's where the blog had started in the newspaper. And I was just like a huge fan, and I loved like everything Dave was doing, and he would just make these videos that just cracked me up, like 2010, 2011. And there's like these low quality videos of just 5-6 minutes, and it's just Dave Portnoy like basically shitting on his employees, and it was great entertainment from just like a fan perspective. And so I would, I'd follow the site in 2016, 2017. I just made this video, this like compilation video of Dave making excuses when they would do challenges and stuff with Big Cat and everything. And he saw it and he retweeted it. And then I saw a tweet from Pardon My Take being like, "We are looking for an intern." And I was doing this. I was in a sales job at the time. I was so bad at it. I'm pretty sure I was just hemorrhaging money just from my salary and like not making the company any money. I'm like, fuck this. I need to like make a move. And so I worked for Pardon My Take for free for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 months. And eventually I was like, all right, I don't have any money. I got to pay rent. And I was working with Hank, who's the producer of Pardon My Take. And I was like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, I just can't keep doing it. I either got to have a full-time job or I need to stop. And he's like, all right, give me some time. I'll talk to Dave. And then I get an email from Erica, who our CEO, and it was like, sorry, we can't make you an offer at this point. I'm like, fuck, like this is my dream job. This like that was just a stab in the heart. So I forward that to Hank, and then he doesn't answer. And then 20 minutes later, I just get a phone call from this unknown number, and it's Dave. And he's like, here's your offer. We need you to move in the next week, though. Like you have to be in New York in whatever, 6, 7 days. I'm like, all right, I accept. And so I started off as a video editor, and I'd never been to New York before. I had no idea what I was doing. I lived in got like this tiny apartment, didn't know anybody, and I was an editor for a while. And I still do producing. I still edit and you know, edit video series here and there. But the Dana Beers moniker started when I had basically so I don't it's such a long story. I'll give you the short version, but me and my buddies back in like college and even high school would just send videos of each other on like Snapchat, like chugging a beer and then like smashing it on our head or our forehead or whatever, just doing stupid shit that like college kids do. And I kept that going with my buddies like well into like my mid 20s and basically into like 3 years at Barstool. And one day I think my buddy was like, "Why don't you just start putting that up like on social media?" I'm like, "Sure, let's do it." And so I would like put music behind it, and then it would just be like me chugging a beer. It's so dumb looking back, but it would like pick up traction. I'm like, holy shit, people are actually
that's the
enjoying
beauty
it.
of the internet.
You're representing
That can
everybody.
work.
Crazy. So I had been doing that just for fun. Like I didn't think it was going to be anything, but obviously my real job was as a producer and an editor. And so there's a softball team in my town called Zillion Beers, and I was at the bar with them. They're a couple years younger than me, and I just heard that, and it killed me. I'm like, these boys are drinking a Zillion Beers, like that just it was so funny. And so I started saying that on Twitter, and like and making memes and shit, and that kind of blew up. And then all of a sudden, Dave is on national radio on Sirius, and he's like, I don't know what this guy Dana's doing. Like he's behind the scenes. He shouldn't be, tweeting about how he's drinking and taking videos of himself. I'm like, fuck. When Dave says that, it's like, all right, time to take a step back and just do your job.
Yeah.
But then somewhere along the way, I went on live radio with him, and I don't know what got into me. I had like the most confidence I've ever had, and I was like, "No, you're like shutting down this brand that I think is successful." And it's so dumb. It's me drinking beers, but I'm like, I believed in it. It's so weird to say, but I was like, I kind of believe in this. Like, I think it could be something. And then that's when he was like, all right, make some merchandise, and if you sell X amount, then you can keep doing this for the rest of your time at Barstool. And so we ended up selling $1.5 million
Jesus Christ.
in 2 weeks of just shitting this Zillion Beers.
I mean, I remember that time period,
man.
though. I mean, you were like on top with the
Yeah,
Zillion
it was
Beers.
crazy. I mean,
Yeah.
I had never had like the spotlight on me or really attention, and then all of a sudden it's like every tweet is about this fucking merchandise. And so that's where Dana Beers came from. I don't know who said it. Someone was just like, you should change your Twitter name to Dana Beers. I'm like, that sounds good. I like that.
Yeah.
And so that's where that actually started. I know I'm getting a little long-winded, but
Oh,
ever
that's
since
great.
that was was 2020, and it's kind of taken on a life of its own. Like I said, I'm 31 now, so I'm still kind of I'm not doing as much as I had used to, where it was like literally all my videos were me just like chugging a beer and hitting it on my face. I'm like, all right, I got to grow up a little bit. So I've tried to, you know, try some other stuff, and it's crazy. Nothing does engagement like me just like drinking a beer
I
and
know.
hitting it on my forehead. It's great. But it's like hard because I'm like, fuck, I'm old. I don't know how much longer I can do this, but people love it. And yeah, that was 4 years ago. So I'm running on 7 years at Barstool, and I mean, I love it. It's honestly the best job I could ask for.
I feel like you could put out a video of you describing or explaining the cure for cancer, and you'll see someone commenting, "We would drink a beer.
Yeah,
we want you
that's-
drinking a
Do the
beer."
beer tweet,
That's
yeah.
your job.
Come on,
Do
we
the
need a beer
tweet
Yeah.
instead.
We don't need this.
100 I've said that forever. Like, I love the Boston Celtics, and I'll tweet like, I don't know, Jaylen Brown, whatever, sick dunk. First response is always do the beer tweet.
Shut up and drink a beer.
Yeah, it's funny. Like,
No, it's great.
Whatever.
It's so you established, yourself too.
Yeah, but like, I'll never complain about that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
That's
Right.
it's fun and it's silly, but yeah, I've been here running on 7 years, and just been a wild ride.
Yeah. No, I mean it's incredible though that's the beauty of social media is you can create an entire brand, a marketing strategy by just chugging beer and hitting them on your head. I mean, I think back to when I was in high school, like late high school, college, we would do like the see a chug, send a chug on Snapchat. You know, I still try to send those to people. I rarely get responses because like everyone's getting old, and it's like, no, I just paid $7 for this beer. Like, I'm not going to waste it. But
Well, we do that and been doing that with our videos since we started in like 2019. I just think back to that the President's Day game. Me and Zuch, who is not here, we went to it was a 1 p.m. matinee Minnesota Wild game against Vancouver. They ended up the score ended up being 10-7. But I didn't intend for it to happen, but he just so happened to start filming me as I was taking a sip of my beer, and I'm like, and he still kept recording me, so I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna chug the rest of this. And the comments were just like $14 down the drain. Wow. But it was just it was hilarious looking back on it. But we've all
Beer
made,
chug Twitter can be harsh. I'm telling you.
but it's great. It makes for great
especially-
content.
God damn it, especially when they judge the speed. Like, I'm not good at chugging it, but I'll get the job done. But when people are like, oh, I could have drank 3 in that amount of time, I'm like,
Oh, they're ruthless.
I'm not in
Trust me.
college
They're
anymore. I get brain freeze. Like, I need to fucking hammer a liquid IV before I do something like this now.
Yeah, it's a ruthless. The internet is a ruthless place. But
Well, from someone who can, chug a beer pretty quick, I mean, is there a strategy for consuming these beverages pretty quick?
I tell people, I don't know if it helps. You just I like open the throat. I don't know how like if that translates to anybody just listening, but for some reason it just makes sense to me. I'm like, oh, just open your throat hole.
Yeah.
Boom.
And it's just down.
Other than that, I don't know. I
Yeah.
guess I was just blessed with this talent from my father or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Confidence, motivation, all the other attributes.
You got to have a good song playing. That always
Yes.
helps.
what's
There's something that
the
fires you up.
what's the worst beer that you've chugged where you had to stomach it or drink you've chugged where you were like, God, that one
dude.
hurt.
So I can actually think of one right off the top. I was at Texas A&M, and they do this thing like I don't know if it's like they're graduating or whatever, but their thing is I think it's when you graduate, you have to put your class ring in a pitcher. And so I was visiting for some video, and they're like, all right, Dana, you got to do it. Like, you got to drink the pitcher. It was so cold, and I somehow took it down, but I immediately knew I had to puke, like on the spot. So I had still someone left in my mouth, and I just ran out, just found a bush or something, and just everything.
Oh.
Thank God it wasn't on camera or like nobody was following me, but it was immediate.
It was an entire
Oh.
pitcher?
100, yes, and
That's
like it took a
psychotic.
little bit. It wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
It took a while, but I was just like, there's like 10 people with camera phones in my face. I'm like, I have to finish it.
Yeah.
If I don't, my brand could take a hit, whatever. It sounds so douchey, but when you got 10 camera phones in your face, you're like, I kind of have to. And then that was a tough projectile, but I don't think anyone caught it on camera.
Oh gosh.
That kind of reminds me, if you ever want to prepare and do some sort of group challenge, have you seen that video that came out? I don't know if it was last summer or the summer before. It's like 5 dudes from England, and it's like a gray, cloudy day, and they're like, they say like this, we're pouring one out to blah blah blah, like some guy's nickname, and there's 40 pints sitting on this table, and these guys sit there and they hammer every single one of them, and they're all throwing up so much, but they finish every single pint. It was a super viral video for like, I feel like 2 weeks, but it was, there's these psychopaths in England, and they drank 40 pints together between 4 of them for like one of their buddies or something.
I'm telling you, people don't want to talk about the dark side of being the beer guy. It's not easy, brother. Yeah. Sometimes you got to throw up.
Yeah. We're all human.
Sometimes your body wins. Your liver's like, all right, what is it? God gives his toughest battles to his toughest warriors or something like that.
Yeah. It's like 100% how it is.
It's like you when you have to chug the pitcher with the ring in it.
Oh God. Well, what kind of beer did you say it was? Or
I don't even remember what it was. It was just very cold.
It was just very cold and just
a lot of it.
Just going in your stomach. Your stomach just feels like a bubble.
Yeah,
like a
that's the worst
ball.
ones.
Oh gosh,
so again, I'll never complain about being handed free beers, but there's been times when like someone will have a beer in their hands with their phone in their other hand and be like, "Hey, chug this," and I'm like, I'll be like, I might be like with my family or something. I'm just
oh no.
Like that happened in Scottsdale. Actually, we were at the Barstool bar, and there was a couple guys like with their phones out, and I'm like, I'm with my dad and my stepmom, like eating lunch, but I'll do it because I have no backbone. I'm just like, fuck it, I can't let you down. Those are the tough ones. Like if you just really aren't trying to binge drink at that moment, but again, I'll never complain. It's something that is always fun.
Yeah. Before you know it, you're just hammered on a Sunday afternoon when you don't plan on being drunk just because all these people are coming up to you.
It definitely happens.
Oh man, no, that's funny. Well, what's some of the best beers or best beer that you've drank?
I'm a big whenever there's a hint of nice weather, and I don't know how it gets in Minnesota. I know it's cold as hell up there, but like the other day it was in New York. It's been shitty out for months, and it was just 60 and sunny, and like that to me is like that makes me want to just sit down in the backyard and have a couple beers. I can't think of anyone in particular, but like if I'm trying to rank, certain times to have a beer, I like that, and I like pool beers, like sitting in the pool, sipping on one when it's sunny out. I'm a simple man. You give me warm weather and some sunlight, I'm like, I just want to sit outside, get a tan, and crush beverages. I'm really simple like that.
We got that stretch of warm weather too. It was like in the 60s, and I actually played golf on Saturday and was able to crush them on the course, that's awesome. First time in a long time doing that in March. So no.
I would say though a particular one would probably be that Milwaukee, the first Milwaukee video when it was like. It went super viral. It was like McAfee was tweeting about it and shit. That one, I don't remember how it tasted, but it felt cool.
Yeah.
I was proud of that.
That was impressive. You had like 5 of them in probably less than a minute or two. I mean, you had the 2 different cups, and then I think you were with Casey. She like poured one in your mouth. Some other guy comes from behind, and then you have Marty Mush, and he has like the Barstool Sportsbook T-shirt, like getting the advertising going.
Like that was such a. I literally texted Big Cat, and I'm like, dude, I'm like so nervous. What do I do? And he's like, what are you talking about? You just drink the beer. Give me shit. He's like the next day, he was just giving me shit. He's like. Dana texted me. He was asking me like for advice. I'm like, just drink it.
Yeah.
Like we got to put on a show somehow,
Right. Yeah. Just do what God intended for you to do, which was just hammer beers when the lights turn on.
Yeah. Listen, it's been quite a ride, and I never saw it coming, but I'm just trying to stay authentic through it all.
Yeah. You got to prove to people that it's not fake, that it's not some sort of conspiracy or CGI of you chugging beers. So
right.
In this day and age too, you never know. AI, you got to prove to people now. In person.
That's true. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah,
you got to make sure it's real.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, we need to get. I know, like you and Jack have been talking, but we need to get you to Minnesota here, especially maybe for a Gopher football game at the U of M this fall.
I think like a Big Ten like rivalry game.
Yes.
I think maybe against Iowa, or I guess that one won't be at home, but there's some stuff you could capture out here. I mean, the place that we tailgate at for Gopher games is fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Who's like who's your rival?
Wisconsin's our biggest one, the Badgers.
Iowa too.
Yeah.
I mean, then there's some big, like if there's a big team that comes to town like Ohio State or something, but I would say, biggest rival is definitely Wisconsin and Iowa.
So I did this, I don't know if you saw it at all, but I did this thing where I didn't really have like a college team to root for. And so I basically narrowed it down to 16 teams that no one had any affiliation with at Barstool. And Minnesota was on it. And they were very rowdy, and they definitely had a good recruiting push.
Yep.
And I kind of wish I gave them a better chance because, like, everyone is so fucking nice in Minnesota and just like Midwest nice. And like, there's something that draws me to that crowd. And the only time I had been to Minnesota was for the Super Bowl, and it was 0 degrees and like so much snow. But I feel like I need to experience either a Gopher game or like something more than just what I saw, because I only went to 2 places when I was there. I was at our Airbnb, and we went to what's the fucking bar?
Cowboy Jacks.
Cowboy Jacks. Yeah, I was gonna say Cactus Jacks. Cowboy Jacks. Just back and forth. So I didn't really get to see much, but the people were amazing, and that's what really stuck with me. So yeah, I would love to at some point catch some. I want to get the real experience of what it's like up there.
Yeah, we can hammer that out. We had Chief and Feidelberg played in the craziest game of hockey. Crazy game of hockey.
Crazy game of hockey.
Yeah, it was like a celebrity charity hockey tournament this summer, and we showed Chief the ropes of Minneapolis, St. Paul, and now he's like a fan for life of it. So we got to give you the same experience. You'd really enjoy it, especially I think in the fall when all the sports are back. I mean, Midwest summers are the best because, like you mentioned, it's pool season, lakes, all that kind of stuff. A lot of golf, but then in the fall, once football picks back up, it's a fun place to be, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, I know the Wolves are killing it right now. I'm a big NBA guy. They're crushing it. I don't really watch much hockey. How are the Wild doing?
Wild, they're struggling. It's an off year, but we're basically paying 2 guys a total of like $20 million right now. So
that aren't even playing
to not play for us. So once we pay those guys to not play for us anymore, then we're going to be pretty good in a couple of years.
Yeah, no, I like I said, the people are really what stuck out to me. So we should definitely try and figure something out because and I'm always traveling, like I'm always on the road doing something. So I'm sure I'll be in that area at some point this year. Yeah, we should definitely link up.
And our fan base, I know, like based on the picture I posted of us together, like people are gonna fucking love when you come to town.
Yeah, they will.
Like I said, our audiences are the exact same, right? Yeah. It's all about having fun, drinking beers, watching sports. Like that's it.
That's the Midwest way.
That's the equation.
Those are my people. I've always said it. I'm like, something just resonates anytime I'm there. It's like they just love to have a good time and crush beers. So that's like, that's what it's all about.
Right.
Well, yeah, and ideally, like we get you down here when you could go like experience a Gopher football game, but then in the same weekend, which is in on the Minneapolis side, but then the same weekend there's a Wild game going on, and you can experience St. Paul because they're right next to each other in terms of like distance, but they're 2 kind of different experiences.
I was actually supposed to go to the Michigan played there this year, right?
Yes.
I was supposed to go to that one, but something fell through the schedule. But like I always get DMs from Gopher fans being like, "You got to come to our tailgate," and they'll send pictures and stuff, and it looks legit. So I'm definitely down.
Yeah,
it's fun. And there's a couple good spots on campus, but they're just a shit show to get into. But like Sally's, oh man, there's a couple bars,
Blarney's, but really quick, I'm going to change gears with a completely out of left field question. Do you truly believe that it wouldn't be hard to assassinate the president?
That was bad. That was bad. That was bad. All right. I don't want to expand on this because I'm afraid I'll get like a knock on my front door from like a guy in a black suit being like, "Come with us."
Yeah.
But I feel like the president's in the open a lot. There's just a lot of open space. I don't know. I know I'm an idiot. Yeah. I'm just a fucking dumbass, but it feels like it wouldn't be that hard. Not for me, for a professional sniper.
Crazy person too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Again, I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm going to stop talking about it.
No, we know what you mean though. Like it's
I think it was like
it's-
when I was prepping for this today, I saw like, I just searched your name on YouTube and there were YouTube shorts and it was just going through like some beer stuff. And then it was just you on a podcast. You're like, I don't think it'd be that hard to assassinate the United States president. I was just like,
Well, it's they give anybody a mic these days, and sometimes I say stupid shit, and usually those are the ones that do the most engagement is when you say something stupid. So I don't know. I'm sure if you search my name on YouTube, a lot of dumb things will come up, but that wasn't my brightest moment.
No, I mean, but compared to like some like moments I've seen of some other like Barstool personalities like Mincy, like what did you say? Like I'd be Aaron Hernandez or something about when they go back and everybody's like, what? They're talking about like whose life would you do over?
He might kill again. If you gave an athlete one chance.
Oh
to
man,
do it
my
all.
God, Mincy, what a guy, what a character.
There's
He's
just characters.
He's a cartoon character.
Yeah.
He's hilarious, great guy. You can't duplicate that person.
No.
He's just one of a kind.
That's a 1 in a million.
And like we've noticed that too, like starting like our brand, and you're building something grassroots style, and you're not going through like a corporate method of like hiring and stuff like that, where we want to bring on just normal people. You just are like common folk people, be relatable. You deal with some characters, and I mean we're all characters in this room. Like it's just you deal with some very interesting people, and it's great.
Has anybody ever told you that you look like Chris Long?
Chris Long?
Holy
Chris
shit.
Long?
He does.
No, I never heard that.
You do.
I do?
He gets Kirk Cousins all the time.
Yeah,
He
I get
does
Kirk
look like
Cousins.
So it's
Chris Long.
funny.
Oh yeah, you do look like Kirk Cousins.
I
We've actually had Kirk on the show because of Jake's, because like Jake's
do
got
an
viral
impression.
a few times for doing impressions of him, and
Yeah.
That's dope.
he got him on. But I'm Chris Long.
You look like a I don't know, skinnier Chris Long. Not that Chris Long is fat or anything.
Chris
Oh,
Long.
yeah.
Oh
Looks
wow.
like Chris Long.
Okay.
Yeah, I see that one.
I need to buff up though.
Especially
a little
you
bit.
can grow that kind of beard too. You can get that beard going.
Okay, yeah, maybe I'll
I've been holding that in.
no, I mean by all means say more of what I look like. I don't care.
He's been
but
told he looks
that-
like 9 different people.
Yeah, it's been strange.
That's the first one, and I see that one.
The one guy from New Girl as well.
Nick Miller.
Yeah,
Nick
I
Miller.
get that all the time.
Yep, definitely.
It's gotta
I
be
can see
It's just got to be your nose.
It's
gotta be
the
something with
nose. It's the nose.
Or you just look like every white guy ever.
Yeah. Honestly, someone said I look who I got Matt Zuccarello a couple times for no reason. I don't see that at all.
That's not even the same hair.
No, not same hair at all.
I know he's a hockey player. I couldn't tell you what he
He
looks
was
like.
he
played
was
for New York for a while.
for a little bit.
But yeah, it's weird.
I have another question on just a random. I remember it's a couple of years ago, just a random series you had going on was that you were just sleeping on your deck or like your like balcony. How did
balcony bed?
Yeah, how what's
got the name for
what's
it.
the origin there?
That's the beauty of this friggin' crazy company. It's just you never know. Like that was. So I used to work with Deion Sanders on his documentary when he was at Jackson State, and I lived there I lived in Mississippi for like a year, and I had this beautiful apartment in Jersey that overlooks like the Manhattan and the city, and you can see. And I never was there because I was told like, hey, go to Mississippi. I'm like, all right, I'll fucking go hang out with Deion Sanders, whatever. And I was never at this apartment. And then finally I moved back and it was just kind of like empty. I had I had never really spent time there. And it was a beautiful day out. And I was just, the night before I was editing till like 7 a.m. on the documentary. And I just was so tired. I get back. And again, this is like maybe my second week or something back in Jersey. And I'm like, it's so beautiful out, but I'm so tired. And I just want to be able to lay on my balcony, but in a bed. And so that was it. I was like, holy shit, I have enough space if I want to move my mattress out there. And it took like 5 minutes. I just put it out there and I'm like, boom. And then I started tweeting about it and everyone's like, I couldn't tell if they were fucking with me or if they were serious. They're like, "This is the smartest thing anyone's ever done." Like, and so I would roll with it, and then it turns out some people were actually like, "Yeah, Dana's a genius," and like, I'm like, I just wanted the breeze. That's all I wanted. And I wanted to be able to sleep with the breeze, and my window was too far away. Whatever. And so, yeah, that was awesome. And really, everyone's like, you're gonna have bugs up there. You're gonna have shit flying up. There was no bugs. There was no issue with wind or heat or anything. It was perfect. And I would bring I'd bring it back and forth. I'd bring it back and forth to
Oh wow.
Like, I don't know, on weekends, on Friday nights, I'd bring it out there and just sleep out there.
There's a picture of Marty on it, but I found I know it's kind of hard to see with the shitty webcam, but yeah, no, that's actually insane. I mean, you had coverage above it. So, like, if it rained, you were fine unless it rained, like, sideways.
It was awesome. I miss that. I miss it so much.
That's a sweet view, too. You're, like, right on the river.
That is so funny you say that, because, like, that's, like, the second most, like, what people say to me.
Right.
It's like, hey, how's the balcony bed?
Yeah, that's, like, when I was thinking about this, obviously, like, this interview, I knew about the beer thing, but then I was, like, trying to think back to some of the other stuff you've done. I'm like, yeah, he, like, put his bed on his balcony for a bit of time. Yeah, I should bring that one up.
That sums it up, though. Like, that's my existence. When it's just he likes to drink beers and he had a bed on his balcony. Jake, like, that's pretty. I'll take that.
Jake,
like,
did you just say?
If you want to sum it up, I'll take that.
Dana Beds.
Dana Beds.
Dana Beds. No, that's great. Well, I would love that too. It's like you get natural white noise too at the breeze.
Jake, you have a balcony.
I do technically have a balcony.
It's not big enough for you could get like a twin bed though.
Throw a twin out there.
I could, and I got a nice view of the highway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got some trees out there. I mean, I would have the natural noise of the breeze and people beeping and potentially crashing. So
people started sending me their own balcony beds, and they would have like some would have awful views and some would have like decent views. But the ones with the awful views always made me laugh. It's just like they're looking at like a concrete wall, sleeping outside.
Those are the best too. Oh man, you get this beautiful balcony, this beautiful apartment that costs a lot of money to rent, and you just have this wall or parking ramp right next to it or something. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, those were the glory days. That was like 2021. That was a good time.
Oh, that's great. But you have.
I feel like I'm still waiting on the next thing that's gonna be like big like that, and I don't know what it's just that's Barstool though. You just never really know. It's just so unpredictable. It could happen tomorrow morning, and I have no idea.
Well, I mean, speaking of stuff, I know this isn't like your own bit, but I saw that you started with you and a few members at Barstool, like a quote unquote competitive basketball team, and you're competing in a league. I saw a couple. I just watched like a couple of clips from it, but I don't know if you guys are struggling or what the deal is with that. What's the record? What's the situation?
We are extremely unathletic, but luckily we're not in a good league. Like the league that we play in is competitive, but nobody's like scoring 40 a game or whatever. It's perfect for what we are because we're just like a bunch of washed up guys that some of us played in high school, some of us didn't. So we were like 4-3 or something, and then we lost it. We lost in the playoffs. We were up 20 at halftime, and we lost. So that one really stung. But we're running it back, and we might have to make some roster moves. You know, we're holding tryouts next Wednesday. So if either of you boys happen to be in Manhattan and want to try out, just let me know.
Right.
Well, that's kind of
that's interesting.
I mean, 4-3 is not bad at all. 10K takes. We had a softball team a couple years running. The first year we went 1-22 and one. I think the one win we got was because the other team didn't show up allegedly.
You went 1-22.
Yeah, and then we had a tie. And the tie was that no, one of the losses was on you because you fucking bobbled one at second base.
That was the first year. So and I smashed my sunglasses. Someone should have been filming that.
A temper tantrum. We only had one win
because I'm like, we had a chance to win another game, and I had it in my hand, and I bobbled the fucking ball.
But there was a game where we had like a rain delay, and we were passing fireball up and down the bench, and then the rain delay ended, and I'm pretty sure I face planted like trying to run to first base. So it wasn't great, but 4-3 is not bad. So like
not bad at all.
You guys like even if you're unathletic, that's not terrible.
We have a lot to work on, but I always like to talk about my high school stats, which were like what, 14 years ago now.
Yeah.
And I always bring that up, and everyone's like, yeah, I mean, you got to back that up, whether it's in men's league or whatever. And so if I have a bad game, I hear it from the fans, I hear it from my team. And this next season, there's a lot of pressure on the boys.
Yeah.
Like, we can't be going out there and losing 20-point leads in the playoffs.
No.
No.
Yeah.
Speaking of basketball, have we checked in on Jerry's point count right now?
Oh, yeah. How is it? I haven't looked.
After,
I'll pull that up.
We watched it.
We
when
watched
he
it.
first
We watched it
started.
right at the start.
and he was
missed
like
the
1
first
for
10
10. Yeah.
That's wild that he's doing that. But that one would be fun, I think.
Yeah.
It would take a long time, but
The golf
that's one
yeah.
that, like, I would have a lot of fun doing that. Just like shooting a bunch of threes. Probably get tired, but I'm assuming he's going to be there for at least 12 hours.
He's at 2,200 points. So
Oh,
he's made 268 3-pointers, but then I think at one point he has to switch to free throws. Which
Yeah.
Is that 2,200?
yeah, he's at 2,200 points.
Oh, yeah. Like he's all more than halfway there.
yeah,
He's making
yeah.
it,
That's
but
actually.
He's got to be struggling, though. I mean,
He's-
he's probably doing okay.
He's using the same few basketballs, so there must be a few of the balls that he
Does he still only have
little
one
more
rebounder?
favorable.
yeah, he's like
Yeah,
that
he's
intern or somebody
probably
rebounding.
an intern. Yeah,
Yeah, those streams are hilarious. They're crushing
Incredible.
over there. I mean,
Yeah.
but you got to have more than one rebounder, right?
Yeah, right.
yeah.
It's just.
I mean,
poor
but this kid's getting in his exercise though. There's no doubt about that. He's probably taking at least 5,000 steps.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's just, those are so great, though.
But so I know too. You've been doing some man on the street stuff. I noticed. Have you been to the Indy 500? I think you did one there, right?
Yes, the most viral clip I've ever put out came from
Yeah.
the Indy 500. This kid was so funny.
Yeah.
He was shit faced, and he was just like talking about how the cars are. He was going, those cars are going real fast and real left. He was so shit faced, and his just eyes are rolling the back of his head. And that kid, Zach Bryan, hit that clip at the beginning of one of his songs, and all of a sudden, one day, the kid who's in the video DM'd me a video of him on stage with Zach Bryan. I'm like, this is beautiful. This is like full circle. I randomly ran into this kid at the Indy 500, and now his voice is in a Zach Bryan song. That was one of the most fun events I've been to in the past couple of years. It's just
Yeah.
everyone just burning in the sun. There's just not a cloud in the sky. Everyone is just so loud with the cars going by, and everyone's just partying. Indy 500 was like, everyone had told me how great it was. Like, it was unbelievable.
So and that was last year, right?
That was in last May. Yeah.
I was there too. I was there
Were you?
I was there for a bachelor party. I was on turn 3, sitting in one of the first rows. Yeah, dude, that was. I tell people, like, I'm probably borderline annoying about how much I brag about that event. The BYOB situation. I mean, the golf course right next door, the tailgating that starts at 6 a.m., the pit where I think that guy was, like the parties that go on in the infield. I mean, it's incredible. So
The snake pit was a little much for me. That
Yeah.
was like, there was a legitimate rave going on in
Yeah.
the middle of a race. I'm like, this is nuts. But that was like bucket list type of stuff, and I'm so glad I did it. It was unbelievable.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, and obviously that was an amazing experience. But out of all the places that you have done, you've gone to and traveled to doing this man on the street stuff, I mean, what's the best place you've been to in the country, I guess, in terms of interactions? I mean, was it the Indy 500, or I mean, where did you feel like you had the craziest people and characters you dealt with?
The craziest people were definitely Indy 500 and Talladega, just like that NASCAR crowd.
Oh, yeah.
The most like the coolest place I went was Bama or LSU at Bama. That game, like, when I don't know if you've been to an SEC game, that was maybe like my second one ever. I think it's after the third quarter, and the whole friggin' stadium is just singing whatever song it is. I think it's Dixieland Delight. Dixieland Delight, is that
Yep.
what it's called?
Yeah.
By
Alabama.
That was like-
Alabama, yeah.
One of the coolest moments I've ever witnessed as like a massive sports fan, of just everyone in unison, like rivalry game. That was like probably the coolest thing I've witnessed. But the people down south are just crazy. And all they care about is football and drinking. So it's a different atmosphere down there. But if you haven't been to an SEC game, you gotta like it's just a different universe.
Now, I know we got to get to an SEC game for sure, but you have to experience the skull chant at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis for a Vikings game.
It does look very cool.
It's fun. And you're drinking beers. We're drinking beers
The
too,
artificial snow coming from the ceiling and everyone's doing it's a really bad look when we lose though, because then all the players in the field on the other team will start doing the skull chant. You're like, yep, yeah, you definitely got us on that one.
Yeah. And
no
we
doubt.
continue another season without winning a Super Bowl.
There was like on my schedule, I had Michigan, Minnesota, and then I think it was
Packers
at
Vikings
or something.
No, that would have been in October.
It was Chiefs.
It was Chiefs that Sunday.
Chiefs at Vikings, Sunday Night Football, right?
Yeah.
Like 3:25.
Yeah, but it was still prime time. Yeah.
I was supposed to go to 2 of those, and then just something fell apart. So
Damn.
my Minnesota dreams were crushed. But
Taylor
I've
Swift
always
skipped
wanted
out
to-
on us that weekend too.
Who did?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, she wasn't there.
That was the only away game she didn't go to, right?
It's yeah, I think so.
Fucking A.
Yeah,
we're cursed.
and there were
We weren't cursed already.
There were like
fine.
women showing up with signs that saying "Where's Taylor?" We should have showed up there. Where's Dana?
True.
Yeah,
True.
But they'd be like, "What? What is that?"
Yeah, me and Taylor Swift. They're
Yeah,
just
right.
skipping on Minnesota.
Same level. Same
You
level.
Yeah,
guys
no,
can-
I've always wanted to go to that stadium because I didn't go to when the Super Bowl was there. I didn't go to the game. It was just too fucking expensive. But we were there for like the media week all week. That place looks insane.
Yeah,
Like it's huge, right?
yeah. It's I mean, it was a $5 billion stadium or two. No, three.
I don't know if
three.
it was $5 billion.
It was
but
in the B's.
I thought it was like 1 point something billion.
Yeah, my
It was
thing is
insane,
SoFi
but
was
yeah.
$5 billion. Anyways, yeah, it's like voted one of the coolest stadiums in the NFL. So you definitely got to check it out.
What's going on with your quarterback situation?
Well, Jake, that's your department.
Jake, you are Kirk
You're a
Cousins.
Kirk
Why don't
guy.
you tell us?
I don't know.
Do the thing.
Apparently, what?
Do the impression.
Do the
Do the
impression?
impression
Do the
thing.
impression.
Like,
Show
oh,
Dana the
Yeah,
gosh.
impression.
show 'em. This is insane.
Well, it's been a while since I've done it because we haven't heard. But yeah, we're just trying to figure it out and see if we can, see if there's something that works out in Atlanta or stay here with Minnesota. We love Minnesota and just love the people. God bless them. We're just going to see what happens here. We're talking with KOC and Kwesi and all these guys, and there's a lot of factors that go into this decision. But we'll just see what happens. So God bless.
He does look exactly like him.
It's
Yeah.
it's fucking
It's weird.
It's kind of scary.
It is weird because people like, and I tell people this all the time, and like, as I defend Kirk, I'm a Kirk stan. A lot of us are in Minnesota. We like him. Obviously, he has his people point out his weaknesses and all that more than his stuff that he's good at. But people will say like, "Oh, you just like Kirk so much or defend him because you look like him." Blah blah blah. That's the biggest fucking thing I hear, and it's like, no, damn it, I've been for him before he even came here. So. But that's like the biggest thing that I hear from people, and it's annoying.
Yeah, that's
but,
a wild take for someone to say.
I know, but
what about your quarterback situation up in New England? That's not much better.
yeah,
I hope we get Jaden Daniels, maybe. Someone. If they don't draft a quarterback, I'll be disappointed.
The Mac
'Cause
Jones
it's
Mac Jones experiment is over. It was over. It
it's
was over.
done.
I
going into
want to
last
give
year.
him the benefit of the doubt and be like, it's just been a shitty situation ever since Brady left. But I don't know. He looked lost out there for the last year and a half. So I don't know.
We might be trade partners. You never know.
yeah,
You don't-
that's
I don't
dead.
know.
Well, we'll
That's
see.
We'll
dead.
see. I hope they draft a quarterback because but knowing fucking the Patriots will take like a guard at 3 or something.
or like a safety.
Yeah.
In the same vein as that, have you been following the Dynasty documentary on Apple TV?
Not yet. I'm waiting
Okay.
till it all comes out so I can binge it.
That's the smart move because I've been going week by week, and it's like hard to remember what happened in the last one. I mean, for you it's obvious because easy, you're a Patriots fan, but for me, I almost have to like do the whole recap thing to remember where we left off.
I've heard some not great reviews, but I guess I'll be the judge when I actually watch it. But a lot of people are saying like they don't actually talk about the Super Bowls. They just they talk about like all the shitty things that happen.
Without giving too much away, I mean, it starts in a positive light, how Tom, like the whole Bledsoe situation and Tom and his whole story. But yeah, then they go on a wild tangent of like everything terrible that happened, and it just kind of never stops until, I mean, Yeah, I mean, the last episode was the Aaron Hernandez episode, and that's like a holy shit, forgot about that story type thing.
Yeah, that was just very surreal back when that happened. But I'm a big binge watcher, so
Yeah.
I'll make sure that once it's out, I'll sit down and I'll spend a weekend and watch all of them together.
Yep.
Yeah, it must be nice having a documentary made about your football team winning Super Bowls.
Or even just winning a Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
winning or being in a Super Bowl.
Being in one, yeah.
Well, the Vikings have
You
been.
guys had that. You had that cool play.
The
Diggs.
miracle, the Minneapolis Miracle. We can take that one to the bank.
And that was great. That was amazing. That was a great moment. Still get goosebumps, but then we just get railed 38-7 the next week. Typical Vikings. Just
It's all
bullshit.
right. You'll have your day. I believe it.
Yeah.
They have great weapons. I
Right.
mean,
Can never just put it all together, and then when they finally do, the quarterback
Gets
snaps his
injured.
Achilles.
Yeah.
And then we did those.
Then we get rid of him.
We did the Josh Dobbs thing. That was fun for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
We had the rocket suits and
I'll say
people shaving their eyebrows.
speaking of documentaries, that quarterback, I've never been a bigger fan of anyone in the world than Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
after that. Like
Yeah.
the scene when he lost the playoff game
Yeah.
and just went home and like hung out with his little kids.
Yeah.
That was like, this guy is just such a good fucking
I know.
guy. And my fucking heart broke when I saw
too.
that. But I mean, I don't know. He's like, do you think they're going to bring, like, what's his contract situation? I don't really know what's going on with him.
Well,
He's a free agent
we just-
technically, right?
He's a free agent, or because he's on his last year of his contract. And what sucks is like all you hear is hearsay. I think at this point, no one really knows what's happening. All we hear is that the Vikings aren't going to give him a fully guaranteed, and Kirk is apparently not going to take a hometown discount. But that's just very vague to me. So I really don't know.
Well, and
what's
then
happening.
this week, Mike Florio comes out and says, "Oh, I know a guy who's close to Kirk's family, and he's preparing to move his family to Atlanta." It's like, did you see the fucking moving truck outside, or what do you mean he's preparing? Like,
I saw
technically
that
he's
tweet he
preparing
had.
for
It was
anything.
weird.
he could
So-
be preparing to move across the Twin Cities. Like,
Yeah.
he might just be moving suburbs.
I mean, technically, if he's open to signing with another team, he technically has to be preparing for something.
Sure.
I mean, that's just a very vague.
Hey,
It's
you might want
all
to start
vague.
packing just in case. But then again, you'd hire someone to do that for you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
my
I don't know.
I think my gut is that I don't know.
They would have did it already.
I don't know. I feel like they want. I mean, Quezzy, our GM, and KOC have been very adamant they want to bring him back. The players love him. I think they're going to try to do everything they can to keep him here. I really do. He says he wants to be here. I think they're going to try to come up with a deal that'll work.
He's still got some in
hoping.
the tank. I
Yeah,
mean,
I think so.
What is he, 36?
35. He'll be 36. Yeah.
He was throwing footballs on the pickleball court
Yeah.
last week.
Yeah.
He's the Achilles is looking better.
I'd give him another shot if I was them.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's unfinished business because he finally had something going for them in 6 years of being here with KOC.
Finally
Tears
had a
his
good
Achilles.
defense. For
Finally
the
good O-line.
First time.
Yeah. And then he was rolling. We were at the game in Lambeau when he tore his Achilles too. That sucked.
That's depressing.
How's that? But how's Lambeau, by the way? I've always wanted to go there.
Gorgeous. You got to go there.
Yeah.
I know Vikings fans be like, oh, you can't talk about because they're our biggest rivals, but like you would be lying if you said you didn't love Lambeau. And the coolest thing is all the bars are like right around it, and they call it like Titletown. And there's literally like one block with like 5 bars on it, and you just boomerang like around those bars the entire time you're there, and it's a
That's
great
dope.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And our hotel was right across the street from the bars.
Yeah.
And right down the road from the stadium. And it was just a shit show. It was super fun. I think whatever bar we were at for the last night, you guys just took a video of me on the dance floor.
Yep.
I looked depressed too, obviously, because of the Kirk Cousins things, but I was trying to be happy, and I had a beer in my hand and
Dancing with nobody.
dancing with no one.
Well, and Dana, up in your neck of the woods, we're big fans of Buffalo, New York. We went to the Vikings Bills game there last year and had an absolute ball in Buffalo.
I've never been up there, but
Oh, you haven't?
No,
Okay.
The weather I've heard is fucking insane too. But I went to this year. I went to Detroit, Jacksonville, something else. But Jacksonville, they got low key rowdy ass fans. I'm telling you, like they're crazy down there. They don't always fill their stadium, but Jaguars fans are slept on. Like they are. I went to the Saints Jaguars in New Orleans, and there was more Jaguars fans than Saints fans, which is saying a lot. I've seen a lot of like teams in my travels or like fan bases, and they really surprised the hell out of me. It's not anything you would expect.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't it a couple years ago during a preseason game in Jacksonville? Like 2 Jacksonville fans got in a fight.
Oh yeah.
It was or something like that at a preseason game.
It was
That sounds right.
Yeah, Steelers Jaguars, and it was 2 Jaguars fans wearing Trevor Lawrence jerseys in his first year. They already bought the jerseys and everything, and they were fighting each other. Incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I went to a Bengals one too. They're pretty crazy up there. Yeah, I definitely got to check out Lambeau, and I definitely got to check out, what is it, U.S. Bank?
U.S. Bank.
US Bank Stadium.
Yep.
That's the sponsor, US Bank.
House of Pain,
Yeah.
but it's usually pain on us, not
Yeah,
on
it
the other
is.
team.
It is.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's true.
Yeah.
Because I was at, well, we went to a few games last year. I went to 4 games or 5 games. They lost all of them. So. Just a financial shit show.
Yeah, I
at
spent
that
money on
point.
season tickets.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it.
Cam here had our
You're
producer
you're giving every Sunday and paying 3 figures of money, and you're just 0 results.
paying for all
I've
the
already-
beers.
That's a bad investment.
I've already
Yeah,
paid
you
for
might
my
as well just
tickets.
watch on your couch
Well,
and be set.
Might as well put that into crypto.
We almost should try to send him the video. For the first game when we got into that cabin suite, we got tickets for this cabin suite.
Oh yeah.
Remember the Yeah, and we obviously, as the game was going on, we played the Buccaneers. It was the first game of the season. We were thinking we're gonna kill the Bucs and end up losing, but it was just getting more frustrating as the game was going on. And we just obviously started consuming more beers to cope with the fact that we think they're probably going to lose. And
to
at one
Baker
point,
Mayfield, who we didn't know at that time
Yeah,
was going to be as
he's
good as he
decent.
was over the
Yeah.
year, but
Right.
anyway, we took a video. We were in like the first row of the suite, and we were stacking all the beers we were drinking, like just right next to the glass, right in front of our seats. And we realized, like in the second quarter, like, holy shit, guys, we've drank so much beer between the 4 of us. We had like a damn pyramid of beers. And we took a video of it.
Yeah,
and we're like,
the cup snake.
or
Yeah.
damn near a cup snake, but it was just, oh my gosh, it was brutal. Like looking back on that next day when you're hungover, you're like, oh my gosh, that
Yep.
was depressing, especially when the Vikings
We've
lost.
all been there.
Yeah,
yeah.
but yeah, we can relate to the beer part of things a
Yep.
little bit. So
Yep.
Yeah,
it's
you
fun.
get the drinkers up there.
Yeah.
Up there in Milwaukee, Minnesota, everyone, like Wisconsin, everybody. You guys just fucking love beer.
especially in the winter.
There were lights.
Yeah,
We technically set the North American record for the largest beer cup snake at a Wild game. So we worked in partnership with the Wild and sold like a ticket package, basically saying we were going to build a beer snake at the hockey game, and we sold like over 500 tickets, and it was on like ESPN the next day. And if you look on Wikipedia, under Beer Snake, we're referenced like 10K Takes partnered with the Minnesota Wild to set the North American record at like, what was it,
374 feet,
74 feet
Yeah.
or something.
You should be very proud of that.
Yeah,
That's
we are.
That's
That's
kind of in
important.
your territory right there. So,
Next time we do that, we'll have to let you know.
oh yeah,
Just-
bring the Beer Snake
oh
back.
man,
I would love that.
because we kind of retired it, but who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, maybe
in the
bring it out of
future.
retirement. But
We'll see what happens.
well, I know it's late there on the East Coast. Jake, did you have any other questions?
I guess the final question I had for you is, and we kind of probably hit on this talking about a bunch of your all of your bits, but I mean, what is your biggest initiative with the Dana Beers brand? What do you want people watching your content to take away into their daily life?
That's a great question. I just try to be authentic and try to be real. And I've always said, like, if I can make a few people laugh, that's really what means the most to me. It's weird. It's like you see all these like comments and stuff, and like you try to focus on the positives. And I'm trying more this year and like moving forward to focus less on like the negativity, because there's so much on the internet, and really like take time to really embrace like the positivity that, like, yeah, if I put something out and some people don't like it, like there's probably a lot of people that do like it. So really try to focus more on making people laugh. And anything you see, if like, I love feedback. If anybody out there wants to DM me with an idea or anything, like, I'm always responsive. I'm always, looking at my messages, looking at my mentions. So like, I would say if you can just take the moment and try and laugh, that's all I'm trying to do. And trying to stay real and authentic with it. So I don't really know what's coming in the pipeline for old Beersy over here, but we'll see what happens. I got a lot of stuff lined up, just like traveling and tailgates, and like I want to explore new places. I want to, travel to tailgates that I haven't seen or tailgates that aren't getting enough shine. And I think even like Minnesota, I think that's a market that doesn't get enough, people talking about them. And that's like that school thing I was telling you about, picking a school. I ended up picking Cincinnati, and people gave me shit. They're like, "Why would you pick Cincinnati?" But like when I was there, that they're just like a community that's just so dying for exposure and like people to talk about them. I'm like, this place is awesome, and I had never thought about Cincinnati in 29 years of life. So it's like I'm really trying to find out more about different areas of the United States that I know nothing about. So I'd say be on the lookout for something like that, where maybe a series of me trying to understand, if it is Minnesota or something like that, just traveling to places and finding out more, and hopefully making some people laugh along the way. That's really what I'm trying to do.
Perfectly
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, Minnesota in a nutshell. We want to be talked about.
Yeah.
And we're just not.
It feels like you guys don't get enough national exposure,
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
we're the number one team in the NBA, and the
No.
NBA doesn't want to talk about
No.
us. Or
Yeah,
not the number
well,
one
that's the
team in the
NBA.
NBA.
They want to talk about the
West.
Warriors and the Lakers, who are
Right.
who are 500.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh, it's
annoying.
absolute
That's
horseshit.
us. That's Minnesota.
Yeah.
We embrace it.
Well, Dana, thanks so much, man, for taking the time and hopping on with us. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely, boys. Thank you for having me, and let me know if you want to have me on for anything else. I'm happy to help out with whatever.
Yeah.
You guys got a good thing going.